the manga that needs few words. Now, he has brought up this manga called Blame before, or Blam, or whatever he has said the name is. Or I think it's Blame. Yeah, I think I called it Blam when he popped up like an image of it in a video I did in the past, and I'd never heard of this. This is something that looked really cool that I never heard of it, and I was hoping he'd get into it again, and now I am excited to get into this. Now, I don't know if there's an anime or anything on this yet, so you'll have to let me know in the comments below if this actually has an anime, and I'll go out and watch it. Other than that, let's get into this. Let's just dive right in.
Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's the Masked Man, and today we're going to be talking about Blame the manga. Now, I don't.
It is Blame. I mean, I know how to read. I just sometimes I be saying stupid stuff. I'm also a bit dyslexic, so I'll just reach it and call it like Blam. I know that there was an E there, but I don't know, dude. I'm tired, guys. I woke up with just so much, like, crinkle-dinkle in my eyes where I couldn't see straight. My head hurts, so obviously I say stupid stuff sometimes. I have cum on the brain all the time, dude. Instead of, like, liquid keeping my brain away from my skull, it's just endless amounts of semen.
Necessarily know where I want to start. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not sleep at all last night. Your boy got scared by a cockroach. Basically spent all night looking for it, trying to kill it. But when I wasn't spraying flea like a maniac throughout my entire room, I was reading this manga, Blame. Well, Blame exclamation point, but that's besides the point. So when it comes to Blame as a manga, I think the first thing we need to address is the medium that is manga. One of the things that I've always pointed out that I think is heavily important when it comes to the overall quality of a manga is the artwork. The ability to visually represent and communicate the message to the reader. There are certain mangas that do this better.
I mean, he's shown some fire imagery right here. This is incredible imagery to start it out with.
Now there's Berserk, Vagabond, other things that I've been checking out like Sunken Rock, Slam Dunk, Real. These are some of the best when it comes to its artwork. However, when it comes to mangas such as, I'd say, Vagabond, Berserk, and another one like Dorohedoro, which kind of gave me similar vibes to this, ironically. Dorohedoro, not Berserk and Vagabond, just quick correction. The strong points of those stories are the dialogue, the ability that the author has to write dialogue in which we're able to see the character grow and express it through words. Not to say that, again, the visuals don't do their job as well, they definitely do. But what I'm trying to get at here with Blame is one of the most, if not the most unique manga that I've ever seen aesthetically, due to its ability to completely communicate an entire scene of what's going on when 7 out of 10 of the panels there's no dialogue whatsoever, which makes for a very quick, a very easy, a very just enjoyable read. Now, with that being said, you also run the risk of getting lost and missing some of the major important things of the plot due to the fact that it's not constantly going to explain things to you through vast amount of exposition like something a Hunter x Hunter would. This story, just like Pluto, is around the 60 chapter mark. However, the chapters in Blame do feel much longer than Pluto, but in a different sense, because again, Pluto is something, Urasawa's work period in the whole detective style that it has. Again, dialogue is a major thing. Blame, like I just explained, is quite the opposite. Also, something else that I really want to give credit for Blame, because many people just focus only on the fact that it just hardly ever talks. It's definitely a show don't tell manga. The world building in Blame is top notch. It truly is. The creativity of the author to create this cyberpunk monster like...
Holy shit, dude. Oh my, dude, so far, so I get what he's saying with the artwork and stuff. This is incredible. Like, I'm looking at this background and everything, and this is cool because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that, like, tries to, like, hit you with dialogue, especially in today's market where it's just, like, Anime is one of the easiest things for me to fall asleep to when I like get off work and I want to take a nap or something, or like if I want to like chill, I'll put on like a crappy isekai because I know that they're going to monologue to the point that I can just listen and basically draw an image of what the fuck is going on in the anime, and then I can just fall asleep to it. Isekais are like my favorite thing to like put on right before bed and just fall asleep to. But when I look at something like this that is just so visually stunning and it just is like it's made to be about the action and about the set pieces, it's something that like would engage me more, where I feel like I can't watch this before bed. I need to have my eyes on it.
Feel with a lot of the creatures is absolutely fantastic. Many times it reminds me of something like Made in Abyss, but with Made in Abyss the world building becomes better and better the further you descend, versus in Blame they're going from down to up. So I thought that was a pretty neat thing as well. Now, as for the overall plot and premise of the story, it's similar to an Urasawa work. In fact, actually, I felt as if the way the plot was handled in Blame reminded me a lot of Dorohedoro, in the sense that you're kind of thrown into this world where you really just have to learn what's going on off the jump, and you need to take in every little bit of information so you can understand this as quick as possible. And the overall mystery behind the protagonists in the series kind of reveal more about the actual world that you're in the more you figure out about the protagonist. So this has a sense of mystery and intrigue, has a decent amount of twist to it as well that keeps you intrigued from beginning to end. The overall premise and plot itself, however, I don't want to get into it because of spoilers, is a neat one.
Dude, damn it, dude. Just get into it because of spoilers, dude. I'm here, bro. Spoil it. Just spoil your daddy real quick.
I wouldn't say it's the best plot out there, but it is a solid one. But again, the strength of Blame is the ability to communicate said plot through its lack of words. Seriously, man, Blame, it's like looking through a gallery of amazing panels back to back to back to back to. So one of the things I also appreciate about Blame is, despite it being a short 60-something chapters,
I also really like this video because, like, again, I've been watching a lot of Masked Man on this channel, and this is one of his older videos, and you can tell it's one of his older videos because of like the production quality and stuff. I mean, it's not to the same level that his newer stuff's at. And it's just nice. Like, it's so surreal to go back and watch somebody's older videos and like see their starting point and to see where they are now. Now, if you don't watch The Masked Man, you definitely should go subscribe to his channel. He's incredible, and he's one of my mainstays of what I like to react to and commentate on, because I think he does such an incredible job. And one thing, it's like so crazy to see like somebody like their beginning points, where they started, how they're moving now. Like this is like I'm loving this video in that regard so much. Now I think he's kind of getting lost a little bit in the plot. I want to dive more. He's kind of reiterated on the art style and how it pulls you in, and I want more than that, I guess. I just feel like so far we're getting yes, the artwork's sick. I want to fucking know more, and the fact that manga is able to do this with just like its incredible art style, its incredible world building, and the story might be mid, but if it's able, so here's the thing: you can have a generic story, but if it's done in a way that's visually and tonally different than what you've seen before, it's still able to do a good job.
There are a lot of other characters that are introduced, a lot of side characters that serve their role well. They do a good job. They leave a lasting impression. And they don't hinder the story, they don't become stagnant, they fulfill their role, and I appreciate that. Now, as for the antagonistic force within Blame, they're just cool. Like, I don't really have much negative to say about the overall antagonistic force. Again, I don't want to get into it too much, because this is something that I really don't want to spoil. But I did post a panel of it on the community tab, and just the overall character design.
I wonder if this is what the cockroach that was running around his house that he was trying to kill looked like.
Will make you fall in love with a lot of the characters that show up. Now, something I will say, and this might be odd, and I actually might be one of the few ones on this, but I understand that you might get lost when it comes to the overall plot of Blame. For me, the only time I really found myself getting lost as to what happened was with some of the fight scenes. And I think the only reason that is because the author goes to such incredible creative lengths with these insane abilities some of the enemies have, that you're kind of trying to figure out, okay, what the heck just shot what. But other than that, as long as you're able to kind of keep track of
You
what
know what this art style is reminding me of? So there's this video game called Citadel. So it was made by, it's a Japanese boomer shooter, and there's Citadel and Beyond Citadel. Now I played more Beyond Citadel because I think that it grabs me a little more. But both of those games have an incredibly similar art style to this, and that's one of the biggest pulling forces of those games is just how incredible they look.
what's going on. The fight should come off as amazing, brutal, high intensity. This is just a manga full of high intensity from start to finish, despite the amount of time that actually ends up being covered in the manga. It is a manga with good pacing due to, again, its ability to be very show don't tell. And I think another element of that I do want to touch upon now is complementing the actual dialogue. Because whilst, again, the dialogue is a lot more far and few in between at times versus other mangas, I do think that Blame, by doing that, adds an importance to when the characters speak. So whatever information the characters are giving you, it's not information that's useless, that's filler. Everything that is usually talked about in the manga pertains to the progression of the story, to what
Dude, again, this is so sick looking, dude. I might have to read I don't ever get a chance to where I'm not streaming or I'm not working. I'm constantly just never have time. This is why I enjoy so many of his videos, because it feels like I get to actually dive into some of these manga that I never will have a time or chance to read. But god, the fucking artwork in this is just making me so hard, dude. I'm not going to be able to work in the shorts that I put on this morning because they're just going to be filled with cum.
protagonist is trying to accomplish in the goal he's pushing towards. Which, if you're somebody who doesn't like to read filler chapters that just waste your time, you're going to have a blast with this. I mean, genuinely, I think you're going to have a blast with this manga, period. And so, other than the way that the plot is kind of structured and built up, reminding me of Dorohedoro and the overall amazing creativity and world building.
I like that he just starts with the dick shot. He's like, yeah, check out this, look at this guy's groin area. It's a big groin area. It might not be a dick. This might be a chick, I guess. So it might be a twat look. We might be looking at some twat.
Reminding me of Made in Abyss, which, again, both is top tier. I genuinely don't think there's any manga that I've read that does anything like Blame. Blame is a one-time unique experience, and in a way that can be said about most of the greatest mangas out there.
Again, this is I brought this up in some of these previews. One of my favorite one of my favorite animes of all time is Mob Psycho, and I think it is an incredible kind of one-shot shorter series that is just so good, dude. It is so fucking good, and it's one of those that every single episode it was just an absolute feast for both narrative and like artwork and style. Oh god, I love Mob Psycho.
They all have their own sense of uniqueness, but this just does it differently. And it's so invigorating, it's so refreshing, it's just one for the books. Blame as a manga, I'm telling you,
There's a dude, dick shot.
you need to get into this. And I know I say that about a lot of the things that I recommend, because, I mean, heck, you guys just recommend fantastic mangas. But this is a must-read for any manga lover out there. This is by far one of the best reads I've had. This is a masterpiece. This is exploiting and using the art form that is manga to almost its finest state. This is genius. Blame is I loved it. I hopefully you got that by now. I absolutely love this story.
Another thing that makes me really like this video, where it sits, one, it's older man, so you can tell that it's a little rough around its edges. Two, it kind of encapsulates something that I have learned as a creator on YouTube, right? So every week I do a video game review, and I have found that some of the hardest video game reviews I can possibly do on my channel are on games that I'm absolutely in love with, to the point that I don't find anything wrong. I just want to write a love letter to them, and it ends up being me just soft jerking the same point over and over again throughout the video, which I can bet to some people in the audience are going to find annoying, but it's just so hard. Like, when you have like criticisms of something, it's easy to fill an entire video with all the criticisms and why you didn't like that or why it didn't work and a lot of things. It's not always easy to to hyperfixate on the things you love about something without just saying you fucking love it, without just saying that your nipples got so hard that when they before I tie my nipples together so when they get hard they won't get hard, right? But when you rip that knot because of the power of the nipples of your like expression of love for this IP or this manga, this video game, there is so much power in that. There's few words that could explain it other than I just fucking love it. It's just fucking perfect.
I think it's one of those things that truly will change your view on manga, and it will help you pay attention more to things such as artwork, structuring of the pages and the panels, basically just paneling and whatnot. But this is something that's worthy of anybody's top 10 or top 5 best mangas of all time list. And the fact that this isn't talked, the only other time I've seen Blame be talked about was from PewDiePie. But other than that, it's a shame how this does not seem to get more recognition or more talk on YouTube. But as always, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications. And as always, this has been The Masked Man. Hope everyone has a blessed rest of the day, and peace.
Dude, the dog one, I saw that. Happy Mother's Day. What a weird ad. What a weird ad. Anyways, I do love that the dog one. That is a wild anime. But yeah, that's the thing. I really want to get into Blame. I'm sure he's made more modernized videos on it that go more into the story and give me a full deep dive, which I will probably do eventually on the channel because now my interest is piqued, especially if it's got him reiterating the same points, because that for me is the way that I can see that a creator really loves something, but he doesn't know how to go into it without just saying that he loves it over and over again. It is something really powerful. Now, a lot of people in the audience might be like, well, it kind of gets repetitive or whatever, but yeah, dude, if you haven't made the content yourself and then listen back to what you said and gone through and edited and stuff before, you really don't understand the like how it works, how you're going through, and how you think that you're like really giving the justice that this IP deserves without like underselling or overselling anything. And you end up just kind of fucking reiterating the same points when you love something so much, because you're not really hitting it with any hard criticisms, because you don't have any hard criticisms. So it's just about juicing your penis till the end of the video's over, and trying to figure that out takes a lot of time on the platform. I mean, I'm still at a point where I have tons of trouble with reiterating points. I mean, I even do it on my live stream clips, which people tend to say, well, you just said the same thing a bunch of times. It's like, yeah, dude, well, I mean, if I have the same point, I'm gonna reiterate the same point. And I don't know, I really like that video. It's always cool to see a creator, what they were doing 5 years ago compared to now, and I think the dude's just like constantly getting better and better and better. He's an incredible, I think The Masked Man deserves to be a multi-million sub channel. I think that anybody who's watching me needs to go sub to this guy. This guy's incredible. I think he needs way more love. He needs me to be living in a multi-billion-dollar mansion with like endless like chandeliers made out of dildos. I think that he deserves that amount of energy, so I think everybody needs to go give him a like and a sub. All right, boys and girls, that's all I got for that one. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.